Hey everyone, welcome back to Usof Reacts. I am Jane and today, we're diving into the infamous 1997 superhero film, Batman and Robin. Directed by Joel Schumacher, this movie has earned a unique place in cinematic history for a variety of reasons. So, buckle up as we explore the highs and lows of this polarizing piece of the Batman legacy. First, let's recap the plot. Batman and Robin follows the dynamic duo, played by George Clooney and Chris O'Donnell, as they face off against two new villains, Mr. Freeze, portrayed by Arnold Schwarzenegger, and Poison Ivy, played by Uma Thurman. The film also introduces Batgirl, played by Alicia Silverstone. The film kicks off with Batman and Robin attempting to stop Mr. Freeze from stealing a diamond. We quickly learn that Freeze needs the diamonds to power his cryogenic suit and to fund his research to cure his terminally ill wife. Meanwhile, Poison Ivy emerges after a botched experiment and teams up with Freeze, creating a formidable threat for Gotham City. The movie is packed with action sequences, over-the-top performances, and a generous dose of neon lights and puns. Now, let's talk about the cast and their performances. George Clooney, as Bruce Wayne or Batman, brings his signature charm but often seems to struggle with the campy tone of the film. Chris O'Donnell returns as Robin, adding to the tension between the two heroes, as they clash over trust issues and their partnership dynamics. Arnold Schwarzenegger as Mr. Freeze delivers one pun after another, with lines like "Let's kick some ice," becoming iconic in their own right. Uma Thurman's Poison Ivy is equally flamboyant, bringing a seductive and sinister energy to the character. While the performances are memorable, the film's production design and costume choices have sparked a lot of debates. The exaggerated neon aesthetic and the infamous bat nipples on the suits have become legendary topics of discussion. Joel Schumacher's vision for Gotham is vibrant and colorful, which starkly contrasts with Tim Burton's darker, gothic take in the earlier Batman films. This creative direction was divisive, to say the least. Now, let's weigh the strengths and weaknesses of Batman and Robin. On the plus side, the film is visually striking and doesn't hold back in its ambitious set pieces. The campy humor can be entertaining if you're in the right mindset, making it a guilty pleasure for some. However, the film is often criticized for its lack of coherent storytelling, excessive cheesiness, and the underutilization of characters like Batgirl. The tonal shift from previous Batman films left many fans disappointed. Batman and Robin try to keep their relationship together, even as they must stop Mr. Freeze and Poison Ivy from freezing Gotham City. Batman and Robin are back working side by side to stop the villains of Gotham City, but is there tension appearing between them? Especially when one villainess who calls herself Poison Ivy can make anyone fall in love with her. Literally, along with Poison Ivy, the icy Mr. Freeze is freezing anything which gets in his way from achieving his goal. Mr. Freeze plans on taking Gotham City hostage by freezing the town into a permanent winter. In the meantime, a new seductive villainess, Poison Ivy, has appeared to cause a rift in the partnership of Batman and Robin. While all this is happening, faithful butler Alfred is dying. Mr. Freeze holds the key to save his life. Enter Batgirl to help save the day. New troubles have arisen in Gotham City. First, there's a new supervillain in town, Mr. Freeze, a former doctor whose blood is laced with cryogenic liquid, causing him to be cold in look and feeling, who plans to freeze Gotham until he gets the money needed to finish finding the cure for a mysterious disease that has stricken his wife. Second, Poison Ivy, a villainess with luscious lips full of venom, has arrived in Gotham with her hulking servant, Bane, with plans to team up with Freeze and prepare the way for genetically enhanced plants. Third, Ivy has caused a rift between the partnership of the Dark Knight and the Boy Wonder. And finally, Alfred, Batman's trusted butler, has developed the same disease that Freeze's wife has. It is in this time of need that a new partner, Batgirl, steps forward to help the two rid the city of evil once more. Batman George Clooney and Robin Chris O'Donnell attempt to stop Mr. frees Arnold Schwarzenegger from stealing a cache of diamonds. The super criminal freezes Robin and flees, notifying Batman that he has 11 minutes to thaw his partner. They learn that Freeze was once scientist Victor Fries, who became dependent on a diamond-powered Sub-Zero suit. Following an accident in a cryogenics lab, he was occupying to find a cure for his wife, Nora, who was suffering from a terminal illness called McGregor's syndrome. Nora has now been cryo-frozen by Victor, who is hoping to continue his research to develop a cure for her disease. Victor plans to freeze the entire Gotham City so as to demand the billions of dollars required to complete his research. Meanwhile, botanist Dr. Pamela Eiley Uma Thurman is experimenting with the strength serum venom to create mutant plants capable of fighting back against mankind's destruction of flora. To her anger, she discovers that her senior colleague Dr. Jason Woodrue used her venom samples to transform a diminutive prisoner into the super soldier Bane. When she refuses to become the mad scientist's partner, Woodrue kills her with animal plant toxins and chemicals. She transforms into the beautiful Poison Ivy and kills Woodrue with a venomous kiss, before vowing to use her new powers to establish botanical supremacy over the world. Alfred Pennyworth's niece Barbara Wilson Alicia Silverstone makes a surprise visit from England and is invited to stay at Wayne Manor until she returns to university. Alfred is revealed to be suffering from McGregor's syndrome. Ivy arrives in Gotham City with Bane as her henchman. She interrupts a Wayne Enterprises press conference at the Gotham Observatory where a giant new telescope is being unveiled, exhorting Bruce Wayne to implement a proposal that would safeguard the natural environment at the expense of millions of human lives, which Bruce summarily declines. She later appears at the Gotham Botanical Gardens fundraiser, seducing everyone present with her pheromone dust, including the dynamic duo, who are there to protect a diamond on auction from Mr. Freeze. When Freeze crashes the event as expected, Ivy is instantly captivated by his ruthless charm. Despite being captured by Batman and detained at the Arkham Asylum, Mr. Freeze is released by Ivy. Ivy then proceeds to turn off Nora Fry's life support and makes Mr. Freeze believe Batman did it, thereby persuading him that they should kill Batman as well as the society that created him. They plan to turn the observatory's new telescope into a giant freezing gun, to freeze the whole world's population to death and replace them with Ivy's mutant plants. Meanwhile, Robin has become infatuated with Ivy and rebels against Batman just as the villainies planned. He eventually goes to meet her at her garden hideout. Ivy's venomous kiss fails to kill Robin because Batman had prevailed on him to coat his lips with rubber. She tries to drown Robin in her lily pond and entangles Batman in her crushing vines. Although they are able to free themselves when Batgirl arrives and traps Ivy in her own floral throne, having discovered the Batcave and decided to create her own crime-fighting persona. With Alfred's help, Batgirl reveals herself as Barbara. When the trio arrive at the observatory to stop Freeze, the criminal has already frozen Gotham. Bane attacks Robin and Batgirl, but they incapacitate him and restore him to his original human state. The two younger heroes save Gotham by repositioning the observatory's satellites, using their mirrors to reflect sunlight from outer space to thaw the city. Batman shows Freeze video footage of Ivy's confession about pulling the plug on Nora, but reveals that he himself restored Nora. He vows that Freeze will be allowed to continue his research at Arkham Asylum to heal Nora. Batman asks Freeze for the cure he created for the first stage of McGregor's syndrome for Alfred, and Freeze atones for his misdeeds by giving him 2 vials of the medicine he had developed. At Arkham, Ivy is joined in her cell by Freeze, who vows to exact revenge on her. Back at Wayne Manor, Alfred is cured and Bruce invites Barbara to live with them and continue helping him and Dick fight crime as Batgirl. Strangely enough, that's one ice-related pun that Mr. Freeze doesn't use in this film, though it does adequately describe the movie. What was I thinking, watching Batman and Robin for a third time? Even worse, what was I doing actually starting to enjoy it? Yes, There's something endearingly awful about a film that fails on almost every technical level. But it wasn't always so. The first two films in the franchise, anchored by the strong and much undervalued lead of Michael Keaton, were enjoyable pop art excursions by Tim Burton. The first, still by far the best, allowed Jack Nicholson to ham it up amongst retro stylings and the music of Prince. The second, Batman Returns, was a less successful effort to homage German expressionist cinema, the darkest of the four films, and struggled slightly under the weight of three villains. The lesson wasn't learnt, and the usage of multiple baddies has been a fixed staple ever since. With the third, Batman Forever, the flat acting of new Bat Val Kilmer was coupled with Joel Schumacher's garish direction and Chris O'Donnell's irritating Robin. Akiva Goldsman was now the writer, and any sense of depth had given way to trite puns and disjointed set pieces. And so it was that everything that was symptomatically flawed with the series was expanded upon and magnified for the fourth, and by far the weakest, installment. George Clooney has accepted a lot of the blame for this film, a humble admission but unfair. While he's clearly miscast as both Batman and Bruce Wayne, he doesn't give a bad performance per se. Rather, it's his backup that lets the side down. Uma Thurman, am I the only one who doesn't think she's that good looking? Has a great time overdoing it as Poison Ivy, but she's joined by Arnold Schwarzenegger as Mr. Freeze. Schwartz, not exactly known for his acting skill, is unrecognizable under his costume, so what's the point? He gets to call Batman Battenberg, refers to Robin as Buard Bowie, and only has 100 lines in total. The fact that 26% of these lines are lame puns on the word ice that even a 2-year-old would struggle to find funny is even more deplorable. And when you hear Freeze tell Batman, "You are not sending me to Dracula," the urge to use the video's stop button is almost insurmountable. Bane makes up the trio, a monosyllabic muscleman in a gimp mask. A completely unnecessary addition, he offers nothing to the plot and goes largely forgotten. The introduction of wonky-mouthed Alicia Silverstone as a fatuous Batgirl character is also grating. And why doesn't her costume come fitted with bat nipples like the rest? Tiny traces of amusement can be gleaned from Ivy's dialogue, with her urges that her garden needs tending adding some form of adult tone to the humor. However, its unrelenting innuendo, "I'll help you grab your rocks," does start to wear thin very quickly. I did smile at Batman's cash card. I never leave the cave without it. And it's also nice to see some small references from other films, even if it is just a glimpse of the Riddler's costume from Forever. Some guards paraphrasing Cobra or some street bystanders dressed as Clockwork Orange droogs. In fact, the idea of a Batman film as completely OTT comedy send-up may have worked, were the rest of the humor more sophisticated. It's the hockey team from hell. So this is where you hang out. I'll cancel the pizza. Oh, how lame and functional the dialogue is. The film wraps up with a rather pathetic plot contrivance, and George having to dish out bland platitudes. Not all heroes wear masks to give life. That's true power. Oh, it really is abominably bad. Batman and Robin exists as a classic example of the Hollywood system folding in under its own weight. However, the universal slatting this one got neglects one factor. While the least successful, it still made over $230 million at the box office. I wonder how many people would be satisfied with failures like that. In conclusion, Batman and Robin is a film that continues to spark conversations over 2 decades later. Whether you see it as a flawed gem or a misstep in the Batman franchise, it's undeniably a unique chapter in superhero cinema history. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more reviews and deep dives into your favorite films. Let us know in the comments what you think about Batman and Robin. Until next time, keep watching.